the
very
best.
best.
Like no
No
one
one
ever
ever
was.
was.
Dun dun
Dun,
dun
dun.
dun. To catch
Catch
them
them
is
is
my
my
real
real
test.
test.
To train
Train
them
them
is
is
my
my
cause.
cause.
Dun dun dun. I
I
will
will
travel
travel
across
across
the
the
land,
land,
searching
searching
far
far
and
and
wide.
wide.
Dun
Bun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun. Each Pokemon
Digimon
to
to
understand
understand
the
the
power
power
that's
that's inside.
inside Pokemon.
Pokemon.
You guys are
Oh,
so
you
far
and
apart. It's
me.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I know it's my
It's my destiny.
destiny, Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Oh, you're
Oh, you're
my
my
best
best
friend.
friend.
In a
In the
world we
world we
must
must defend.
defend, Pokemon. Oh,
Oh,
a heart
this
so
is
true.
true.
Our courage will
Courage will
pull
pull
us
us
through.
through.
You
You
teach
teach
me
me
and
and
I'll
I'll
teach
teach
you.
you.
Pokemon,
Pokemon,
gotta
gotta
catch
catch
'em
'em
all.
all.
Gotta
Gotta
catch
catch
'em
'em all.
all. Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Well, that was magical.
It. So, welcome to the Fandom Flux podcast episode. What episode are we on? 18. That whole thing is going to be in the fucking recording because
Damn right.
we started recording before they did that. So that I don't see why we wouldn't.
Damn it.
I can't seem to get Pamela recording, so we will have exactly one chance at this. So
Great.
everyone, keep an eye on your Audacity recordings.
Good.
Yep, it's making squiggly lines.
Yay. So, who have we got with us? We've got me. I'm Casey. Hey, hello. I'm completely unprepared because, stuff happened. And we have Zero.
Hi. I
We have
make a
Slicer.
game.
There.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Slicer.
Hello. Wait.
And we have Kenchi.
No.
That's right. Move aside and let the man come through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so apparently the last person always will get an extended introduction because
There's nobody else.
I don't get to move along too quickly, and somehow it always ends up being Kenchi that's last. I don't know how that happens, but
That does seem to be the case.
Yeah.
There have been some times where I haven't been the last, but
other okay. I'll
Well,
take your word
you
for
know,
it.
you know how it goes. Kenchi always comes last.
Yeah, Kenchi the loser, sure.
I'm gonna ignore that because you all know what that you just blasphemed.
I know that it's complete bullshit. Yeah. God damn it, Kenchi, I hate you for being successful. Right, so, first topic, as always, what we're doing. What are we doing? Zero? What are we doing?
Well, I uploaded a new chapter to the MTC, which hasn't been updated since August. So, people are actually kind of liking that. There was a whole war scene in it type thing, or rather, they found like the remnants of war, and it's Kingdom Hearts and Persona, so you get like Sora is just kind of like he vomits, and
Lovely.
yeah, it's war. War sucks. Donald went through war in the cartoons technically, so he's okay with it. Goofy went through war too, so he's okay with it. But
Donald
Sora,
was a Nazi in the cartoons, though.
yeah, so he should be
Oh,
double
yeah.
fine with it.
Yeah, okay.
It is theorized that Donald has PTSD.
Yeah, all that time.
Is that gonna be a thing?
Fucking all those pictures of Hitler on a conveyor belt, and he had to fucking zig heil for every single one. Yeah.
You
Fuck.
should make that a thing. You should make that a thing.
Oh man, but I did that this week. Let's see. I had a CFF chicken examination thing, right? And what this is that for KFC stores we have there's a third-party company that comes in, and they examine how we're doing everything in the store, and they give us a grade on like health and safety and whether we're following procedure and everything. And you can get green or you can get red, You can get platinum if you do really awesome, but like that. And I was cooking while they were doing this.
Mm.
This is a completely random thing that happens. Like they just choose, oh, let's go to that store next. Nobody knows when's gonna happen. So I'm making chicken. I'm setting up for the morning, and then like one of the girls that works there runs in. She's like, it's a CFF. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready. So I'm just running around the kitchen trying to clean up everything that's not procedure. Oh, the hose is back here. The hose is supposed to be up front. My tables are a mess. Oh my goodness, that's not supposed to be over there. What's that doing over there? And I'm like, by the time the lady comes in, I'm just like cleaning up my tables, and she'll be like, oh, just tell me when you're making chicken, whenever you're ready. I'm like, okay. Just smiling, hoping she doesn't notice that maybe I did something wrong.
That's great.
And so I'm like, I tell her, okay, I'm going to be making original chicken now. And she's like, oh, you actually told me. Most people actually forget to do that. And I'm in my mind, I'm just like, fist bump, I got brownie points.
Fucking brownie beans.
And so then I made the original chicken. My boss and every single person that pretty much worked there came in, and they're like, we're going to make this run nice. And so basically the results of it were we got an 82 on it. And that was because of cleanliness, as in there was just problems with cleanliness around the store. That's my manager's fault. And coleslaw, which is somebody else's fault for leaving coleslaw like not fully filled in the thing, and leaving mashed potatoes overnight.
Ugh.
Ooh.
That's gross.
However, the reason we got a green, the reason we passed that, was because we got a perfect on cooking.
Hmm.
So I did perfect. It was great.
Okay, so can
I love that story so much.
My boss's boss came in like a few days ago, and he took a picture of me and my boss, and he sent it to my dad, because my dad actually does work high up in the KFC food chain. And I got a whole like card saying congratulations on doing perfect, and everybody's like, yeah, you're awesome. And I'm like, yay.
Well, congrats. Nice
Food
job. You
chain,
saved
I
the
get it.
restaurant.
So
Because-
your second generation KFC. I did not know that, but I'm glad I do.
Yeah, my dad does like basically if I did bad on that would reflect badly on my dad. So, I had to do perfect on it, and I did. I freaking ran like a mofo, but I did it. Oh my gosh. It made
You
my
do have
day
to realize
and
that
week.
by virtue of sharing this knowledge with me, I'm now going to rip you on every episode from now to Kingdom Come for that knowledge that you just presented me with.
What, the KFC?
Yeah. Pretty much everything you just said, I can pretty much make into a joke that'll last 3 or 4 episodes.
So, can I ask, which is the greatest point of pride for you this week? The, perfect for your cooking in KFC, or the, game that you made for us? That's, something.
I actually didn't really work on the game at all this much this week, but I'm really liking it. For our listeners out there, Slicer, Casey, and Kenchi all just played the 3-minute demo, version
hell I have.
0.01. Or Slicer has not played it. Slicer is waiting on the download. Oopsies. By the time you listen to this, Slicer will still be downloading it.
Probably.
So, in fact, Casey and Kenchi have played it, and what are your thoughts on it, really? Like,
I'm awesome, is my first thought.
I thought
He
it was.
introduces me. He introduces me fighting what looks like a boss character in of itself.
I was going to ask
Killing
which
it.
one, the real life you or the
Alone.
game you, but you were just going to say yes.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't that accurate to how I speak until I started calling Zero a knobhead, and then it kind of, yeah,
It kind of
that's
clicked.
Your general attitude is rather accurate, I believe.
more or less, yeah.
I do have to tweak the dialogue. If you want, you guys can send me a dialogue, the Kenchi soundboard if you want.
Dude, I work at 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. tonight, or should I say tomorrow. I'm going to be doing almost nothing but thinking of dumb things to say during that time. So I'm
But
going to be getting some
you,
messages.
you know, if you want, I can show you the demo. You can tell me how you would tweak your dialogue. I already tweaked Casey, so instead of saying pinch yourself right now, he says punch yourself right now. And then my character Zero does it. He gets into a stare off with Kenchi when he tells Kenchi to do it though, and and I'm like, I think he meant pinch himself. Go pinch yourself. But you know, dialogue skills to our listeners. If you guys want to help contribute to it, you can. You know, you can post in the comments on the Blogspot page what things that you would like to see in the game, and I'll try to put them in there. As for so other than those things, my week's been it's been pretty average. Oh wait, I saw 2 movies.
Oh?
Rather, oh yeah, I've got another funny story. Movies. Okay, so there was a power outage one night during this week, and I had arranged to go with my friends to the movies, and we ended up going to the crappy theater. And it turns out, okay, so we're going to see Hunger Games like 12:10. Okay, simple, easy. We just go see that, and we can go out to lunch afterwards. So we go into the theater, or rather, I go into the theater. They're already there, and we're sitting and staring at a blank screen. At this time, it is 12:16.
You went to the wrong theater, didn't you?
Nope, it was the right theater.
Wrong screen?
Blank screen. Blank screen. And we just sat there. And then occasionally it would flash green. And it would like subliminal message us. But it was just blank.
Uh-huh.
A guy comes in and he's like, hey guys, we're having a problem. We should have it fixed in like 10 minutes. 30 minutes later he comes back. And he says, yeah, it's not working. We had a power outage, so it's a lot of things are not happening. So we got 1 free admission. You know, we can go back there at any time to the crappy movie theater and see a movie. Doesn't matter if it's XD or 3D. Then we went and we were like, you know what? It's actually like time for American Hustle to start, so we can go sneak over to that. You know.
Awesome.
So we go sneak over into that, and they're showing the previews, and all the sound is like robotic. It's like staticky. And then like a few minutes later, the guy comes in and he's like, "Hey guys, having a problem with the audio."
I know where this ends.
So they're gonna restart the thing, and see if that will fix it. So they restart the previews, right? And it doesn't get fixed. And
I know where this is going.
You can hear them. They're just unplugging everything, and they're plugging it back in. Like you hear the sound go out, and then somehow the sound is mono, and that sound is muffled. And now the sound is back to normal, and now the sound is freaking loud and eardrum blasting. And then it goes back to normal, and then it goes silent, and then you're like, why? Why?
Okay.
So then we're just, and then the guy comes back in, and he's like, yeah, it's not working.
And
So we left that theater, and then we're like, you know what? Let's go see the Lone Survivor. It's in the XD theater. It's got the extra D. We all want the extra D. Pun intended.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Fandom Flux wants the extra D.
we actually did say that. We were joking about the whole XD and 3D and how many people want the 3D. But we went into the theater, Lone Survivor, and you know it's extreme digital cinema. The chairs are leather and nice, and there's a big screen. And you know what? It played.
I thought you were gonna say it didn't work.
Yeah, you thought you were, but you thought I was, but we ended up being able to actually watch Lone Survivor. and my friend cried during it. She was a girl, so halfway through it she was crying, and it was a very sad movie. Very good though. Then finally we decided to go back into the first theater that had gone blank because they were showing Hunger Games in that again after the movie. At this point, we've been at the theater for like 4 hours.
Don't they have ushers in that bitch?
Not really. So we've been at the theater now for 4 hours. I'm texting my dad. I don't think I'll be home for dinner, and we go into the theater, and that finally works. And then it's like it's like 6 o'clock afterwards, and we're like, you know what? We're going to go out for lunch after a movie. Well, let's just go out for dinner. And so that was how my day went. Other than the fact that, we went to the dinner place and then my friend got lost and I had to wait 30 minutes for him to get to a place that was 10 minutes away. But yeah,
Okay.
that was my week.
See, that's why I like the ghetto movie theaters, because while, I don't get popcorn from there because their popcorn sucks and will give you
Oh, it was
syphilis or
so
something.
terrible. It was caramelized.
That's gross.
But we got a large and we ate all of it. All the disgusting caramelized popcorn. And then we were like, if we eat it all, we can just go and get a refill. And we get a refill, and the popcorn is cold.
You don't get popcorn from the ghetto theater, okay? You can get the snacks that are boxed from the ghetto theater. You don't get popcorn that's made or set in the machine at the ghetto theater. Okay?
I didn't even know where the theater was. I had to get directions for it. It was just, oh my goodness. But that was something.
Yeah. Shocked you got your food right when you went to eat. Just come out and, the stove isn't working, so here's a free coupon or something.
Only thing that happened was that I knocked over my glass of water when I ate. Only thing that happened. Other than that, it was pretty good. Yeah. Went down to a Chinese place. Sesame chicken.
It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, Casey, are you gonna?
Okay, that was a long story. That was a long story.
You should
Okay.
enjoy it.
Yeah, sure. So, next, Slicer, what have you been doing this week?
Technology fucking sucks. Like, a lot. Okay, first off,
Your download timed out again, didn't it?
no. I didn't even start it again. I'm not gonna do that. I'll do that later tonight when the internet's decent-ish. Okay, when I tried to mod my GameCube, it didn't detect the chip, and then it wouldn't read discs. So that was great. Now my PS2 won't read discs anymore. 3 days ago, when I was playing Mass Effect 2, I got a disc unreadable error, and now my Xbox won't read discs. And then 2 days ago, the power went out for like 2 hours, and then 5 minutes after it came back in, the internet went out for an hour. So that was, that was great.
Where do you live?
Iowa. Oh, and my lamp went.
that
my
explains
lamp
a lot.
went out as well, just to cherry top that. So I don't have a
all
light in my
your
room.
all your electronic devices are just shit right now. Like everything.
Remember, he said he lives in a farmhouse.
Yeah.
I did not know that, but that explains a lot now.
Yeah. I think it might have something to do with the unshielded TV. I don't know. I'm not sure if that does anything, but that's whatever. That's about all I've done all week, honestly. I've had a really slow
Just
week.
Had failures of technology.
Yeah.
Fighting with progress.
Just sitting in the corner crying, basically. Anyway, moving on.
It just goes to say.
Who else?
Ken,
Okay.
you started work, so,
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. What people really care about is my writing. It's kind of half the reason. It's kind of the entire reason I'm here.
Fair enough.
Or that you know who I am.
granted.
Yeah. So anyway, I finally got around after, let's see, it's January, 5 months. I finally updated True Warriors Never Die, the Naruto Bleach crossover. and I told everyone why I couldn't do that. And strangely enough, people were actually receptive to my reasons. I'm very proud of my readers for that. Made me feel
Yay.
warm inside.
Yeah.
weird
You
feeling.
usually get decent support from like, oh, technology failure. People
Yeah.
tend to be sympathetic.
Yeah, it made me feel good inside, which was great because I started my first week at fucking my TV studio this week, and that was terrifying. I was basically walking on eggshells for the first 2 or 3 days because I didn't like know what to like. I can like I'm assistant producer, so basically it's my job to help the people that are laying out the news show and everything. Like if they need help, like if they're short on time or need help writing a certain part of a reporter's like stand up, like the part they're gonna read,
Mm.
I'm there for that. I've got to basically insert all of the like when we play videos, I've got to insert the script for that and give cues to the production people to make sure they know when to switch the video off or when to get ready to switch the videos on and off so everything runs smoothly. You ever seen like a live broadcast or something? There's a lot of work in that shit.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of them go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is not easy to run that smoothly. And sometimes reporters will send me stuff they wrote so that I can put it in teleprompter and stuff. Sometimes they'll just ad lib. They won't even read their own shit. So when I'm rolling a teleprompter, I won't know where they are, and I've got to make educated guesses as to where they are so that I keep up and make sure that I don't like undershoot it for the next segment. It's nerve-wracking, but it is officially the best job I've ever had because I make almost double what I made at Kmart
Yeah.
with
No more
guaranteed
poor.
hours. With guaranteed, yeah, no more poor. With guaranteed hours, and I at least get days off.
Guaranteed
I
days
make
off.
more money. Yeah, I make more money at this job than I made at Kmart doing less work.
What's
Which
the
is the American dream.
what's the minimum wage in your state?
7.25, which is what I was making.
Oh. Mine's 8.25.
8.15, I think.
So you sob.
Everything costs more in California though. And they're going to be increasing the minimum wage by $1 this year and $1 next year. So,
Anyway, I did that, and I met like people I've been watching on TV for the last 7 years, which is awesome. And some of them know my name, which is awesomer.
How?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's Kenchi.
Yeah, you don't think about it, but a lot of people kind of know your name. I mean, have you ever actually looked at your traffic numbers when it comes to fanfiction?
I have not
It's
looked at my traffic numbers.
it's actually kind of surprising and a little bit daunting when you actually look at it.
I'm gonna have to do that later.
Yeah, I looked at my traffic numbers. Yeah, they're interesting. They're always like they're always higher on the first chapter than they are on the rest of it. Typically, kind of depresses you. Don't look at it. Actually, never mind. Don't look at it.
Well, not have to.
Well, yours is going to be easily in the 100,000s, but don't look at it.
No, of course the first chapter is always going to be like way higher numbers. It's going to be all the people that start reading and think, that's not for me, then leave.
Yeah.
When there's a big drop off, like at a certain chapter, that's when you need to worry. When it's not the first chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That
then
means you've done
somehow
something
when
wrong.
or when your story is like, I think it's kind of, I think from what I've seen, it's kind of natural for your traffic numbers to kind of decrease to a certain extent as you go further down in the chapters, because I don't know, people haven't read that far yet, or
Or people have dropped off from reading it.
yeah,
They've
people
not bothered
gradually
coming back.
drop off.
Yeah.
Or people read it in moderation instead of block reading it all at one day, like I tend to with everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do that too.
maybe they're
Hundreds
just
of
waiting for it to
thousands of words in,
download.
like, 2 days.
Maybe they're just waiting for it to update more, because some people only read stories that are complete.
I've
Yeah.
seen that before, yeah.
That's got to be rough.
Yeah, there's like no stories that are complete anywhere.
Exactly. But still,
I
people like that
wouldn't
do
say all
exist.
that.
I could name like 5 though. Out of all the stories that I've read, I could name 5 that are complete. That weren't one shots and thus complete by default when they were released.
Yeah, you mean complete as in not abandoned, but actually completed to the end.
Yeah. It's you never see it almost.
It's a pretty exclusive
So.
club, yeah.
Yeah. Casey's writing for a complete story, or rather, Ethan is now, technically. So,
Man.
it's a rarity.
Mm.
Next topic.
Next topic.
Yeah, I'm
I
good.
haven't done my thing yet. My thing.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead. What have you been doing this
What
week,
have
sir?
you been doing?
So, Kenchi talked about how he's earning more money. I got a letter through yesterday saying I will not be getting job seekers allowance for the next 3 months.
What?
Oh,
Job seekers allowance, by the way, is the money I get so that I don't,
die.
yeah, kind of die because I'm not getting any money and thus can't pay for food. So, things gonna be a little lean for the next few months for me.
Ramen every day.
Yeah.
You can just have Kenchi wire you money.
Yeah, Ken.
He's Mr. Moneybags now.
Be a friend. You know.
I don't get paid till the 28th.
Yeah, so that sucks, especially given the circumstances. It's like, once I go into the job center, they check off all the stuff that I've done to look for work, all the list of all the jobs I applied for, like 10, 15 jobs I've, applied for, and the advisor person says, okay, look at all these jobs, I'm going to mark these for you. You don't have to apply for them, but they're here. You should look at them later and see whether you want to apply for them. I'm like, okay, I look at them, I apply for one, sure. Seems like a good possibility. I have a good chance of getting this one. Go to another advisor appointment, and turns out she tells me these jobs that have been marked down, you have to apply for these jobs because they have been marked down by an advisor that you should apply for these. So, it has been 2 weeks since that appointment where these jobs have been marked down. One of these I can still apply for. The other one has been taken off the system. I can no longer apply for it. And now it has been reviewed that I did not apply for this job when I was supposed to apply for this job, and thus I do not get benefits for 3 months.
Huh.
So,
There's no way to reverse that then?
I can appeal it, but I don't know how well that's going to go. So, yeah, job center lady may have fucked me for the next 3 months. Figuratively.
Shame.
Yeah. So that's going to suck for the next 3 months, possibly.
You can still look for a job, though, right?
Yeah, I've been looking for a job for the past 3 years, mate. I cannot get work anywhere. No one will hire anyone without experience.
Is there a KFC near you?
There is, but I'm pyrophobic. I don't like fire.
It's okay, you won't ever see fire unless you do something wrong.
You won't ever.
Yeah,
That's a
the only time
that's a
you'll
quotable.
see fire is when something has gone wrong. That's a great thing to hear. Someone that's
That's a
afraid of
quotable
fire.
that I'm going to steal. You won't ever see fire unless you do something wrong.
Oh, yeah. So I need to
Yeah,
do.
I've seen fire. I've seen fire.
Yeah. So, in my ongoing efforts to find a job, I need to do volunteer work. So I need to pay for transport to get to a job that I won't be getting paid for, all while getting no money to, sustain me.
It's a terrible system.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be rough. So, that's fun. Aside from that, what else did I do? I played a game. What game was it? Oh yeah, I played a couple of games. I played Guacamelee. Anyone played it?
I saw it on Steam
I've not.
during the Christmas sale.
Mm.
It was like
It's
a
kinda
dollar
like
and
a-
a half.
Yeah, it's like a Metroidvania game, but it's like luchadors.
Huh.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's like you're this farmer guy, big muscle-bound Mexican dude, and his would-be girlfriend has been killed. No, not killed, kidnapped. And in his trying to rescue her, he gets killed. and in the land of the dead finds this mask.
Of
That
course.
because
Oh yeah.
luchadors, yeah, because yeah, the mask is a mask of power or something.
The
so,
mask is power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he becomes a luchador after wanting all his life to be a luchador because they were big heroes and stuff. So great.
This game sounds amazing.
It is
You
pretty
haven't described
amazing.
it yet.
Do you get like salsa as a power up or like a healing item?
Chickens play a very major theme. You would love this game, Zero.
Oh my goodness!
There is a power where you
Yes.
can turn into a chicken. The devil himself has been turned into a chicken and has decided his life is much better as a chicken.
Zero, you should a note on your game. A note on your game. You should be able to special summon a chicken.
You should.
If
Mega
I think-
Ultra Chicken.
If I figure out a special summoning system, I will give us all special summons. I'll summon a chicken. Kenchi will summon a sex panther. Casey will summon the queen. You know,
Oh, come on.
Slicer will summon a farm animal.
That's racist.
I don't know. I'll figure something out.
Queen.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, so that's a fun game. It's got some like parody elements. So like one level, like right towards the end, you're climbing this mountain, and it's all like snowy and stuff. And you get to the top, and there's this guy in a red cloak, and he's got this scarf with markings on it. It's the Journey guy. He actually played that. We gets the It's good stuff. Fun game. Very funny. Good gameplay as well. It's like I mentioned Metroidvania, so like you go through levels finding power-ups to unlock all the areas and power-ups from before, so it's fun game. And I've been playing Skyrim. I am determined that this time I will finish that game.
You can't finish a Bethesda game, but okay.
I have
Technically
never
finished
done the main quest line of that game.
I don't know anybody that has.
I have
I
played
have.
it for hundreds of hours. I have done the fucking Imperial Legion questline 4 times. I must finish that game. If only.
What, do you have wandering butterfly syndrome? You can't focus on the main branch of story?
In fairness, you can actually get wandering butterfly syndrome in that game because you can chase butterflies and
That
They're
game is
alchemical
wandering
ingredients.
butterfly syndrome.
Pretty
That
much.
game literally is like you walk into the first town and they give you like 3 different side missions.
yeah, kind of.
Like, yeah, it's what I did though when I played that game was my goal was first I'm gonna complete the main quest line, get everything that like it gives me as like part of it, and then destroy everything else and just get through it. And there's still so much left to do. I've done pretty much everything, but there's still some stuff left to do, and then there's mods.
Mods. So, I'm making good progress so far. I finished the Companions quest line. I finished the Dawn Guard quest line. Sided with the Dawn Guard.
Vampires.
I did not side with the vampires.
Vampire Lord.
I may or may not have downloaded the mod for Mariable Serana for some reason. It's,
May or may not.
Oh, right, of course. Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, actually learned how to use console commands so I could fix the thing where she can get cured of her vampirism, but only if you don't say this one specific thing in an earlier conversation that you don't know locks out the cure. When you do it, it's really weird. So I had to fix
So
that.
what do you not say?
I think if you ask her about whether she would cure herself of her vampirism, she will not do it when the opportunity comes up.
Wait, what?
It's very confusing. If you ask her, will you ever cure your vampirism, she will say, no, after everything that I've done to get it, I will not cure myself ever. And she won't. But if you don't ask her that, she will. She'll go with it.
You didn't make her think about it.
Yeah, it's confusing. But
It's
So when
reverse
she actually-
psychology.
it kind of makes sense because if you ask her about it too early, she'll have made her decision then before, like, all other events have happened.
Yeah.
will give her a new perspective on it. It kind of makes sense character-wise, but it kind of fucks you if you don't really know about it in advance.
Wouldn't that mean that her curing herself isn't actually what she wants, and that was just a spur-of-the-moment thing that's going to screw her over later? She's probably going to want to get vampirism again?
It's iffy. I mean,
It's more like she was affected by all the events that happened in the story later, so now that all that stuff's happened to her, she now feels more open to decide because she hasn't already made that decision.
Ah.
it's like because she was presented with the idea earlier before the events that could like change her mind on it had happened. So her mind is already made up, and it's set from then on because she's made her decision and goes with it. Kind of fitting for the character, but like I said, it fucks you over as a player. And I'm not a fan of vampire characters at all. Bad experience at a party I went to like years ago when I was in high school.
You gonna talk about it?
Yeah. So I went to this party. As a teenager, I was kind of in the scene emo kid goth crowd because I was a miserable little fucker at the time. Legitimately so. I had good reasons, but still, I was a whiny little bitch. And naturally, at this party, there were like the goth crowd and the scene crowd and the emo kids and stuff. And this girl, whose house it is for the party, she's introducing me to her friends who I hadn't met. They were friends outside of school, and I was one of her friends in school. And one of them is this big ginger dude with a beard, wearing a massive fucking trench coat. He's like 6'5" or something ridiculous. And she says, "Hey, this is Casey. This is what's his name? I've forgotten what his name was." He says, "Hey, nice to meet you." And then he sort of goes in for a hug, and then leans into the side. And I did not know this at the time, but he had opened his mouth to bite me on the neck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did he bite you?
He did not. No, she stopped him before he could.
Oh God.
That. The friends of friends that I had, they were weird people.
Oh
But
God.
I think you need to call the police in
just
that
gave me a
case there.
You just gave me a brand new worst case scenario
Yeah.
from meeting one of my friend's friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. There it is.
It's just like leans in, just like no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that.
Strictly handshakes from now on. Fuck all that dap shit. You stay at arm's length from me.
Oh.
If that had happened, he'd have gotten belly to belly suplex.
You see, this is why you don't hug random people.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I'm not really usually the hugging type, but he was like, he goes in for the hug, and I'm like, okay,
Why
I'll
not?
What
go
could
with
you do
it
to
for the
stop
sake
him
of
at
being
that point?
nice. Yeah. Well. Yeah. That was a bad time. That was not one of the better parties that I've been to.
That's I don't know if that's worse than the time when I invited all my friends to a birthday party, and then one of them tried to strangle my little brother.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, he actually was. He said he was pretending, but
No, you don't pretend with that.
you won't pretend with having your hands around somebody's neck. Traumatizing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Friends of friends.
Yeah.
No, friends don't even touch. No, even friends of me don't do that. Well, maybe because first of all, my brother is a year younger than me and is bigger than me.
My brother's 4 years younger than me,
Yeah. I
and this
thought
was
so.
like 6th or 7th grade. So
No. Them's fighting actions right there. You get out of my house and get as far away from me as possible after that. I don't want to see you again.
I don't think I ever saw him again after that. Actually,
Hmm.
needless to say, he was no longer welcome.
Well, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up what I've been doing this week. I think I can't really think of much else. Yeah, so playing a hell of a lot of Skyrim. I'm nowhere near finishing it. but I'm making slow, steady progress.
Damn you, Bethesda.
Yeah, damn you for making good games. Good games, I mean good games. Oblivion was a better game than Skyrim was. But,
Yeah.
Fallout 4
I
Fallout
really
4,
want Fallout 4.
needs to happen.
Fallout,
Needs to
So do I.
happen.
I hope it's good. I really do.
Well, they learned to diversify their environments with Skyrim,
I guess. I mean, yeah, they have.
and that was that was the main problem with Fallout 3 was because it was just so much of the same.
So much city, so much destroyed, bombed out, depleted city.
They reused a
empty
lot of assets,
countryside.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the areas did look almost identical. That was a thing.
Yeah,
Like it's yeah. Casey?
It was an enormous game, though, so...
it was.
Which one was bigger, Fallout 3 or Oblivion?
I imagine. Do the sewers and subways count in Fallout?
I think they should, yeah.
Then Fallout probably.
Fallout just feels bigger because there's not there wasn't a lot of stuff typically to kind of be with you like
Ooh.
sorry. That was really weird. Like Skyrim has. That was me dying. Sorry.
Sorry.
But Skyrim has lots of environments. It has lots of wildlife that you'll encounter. Fallout 3 didn't have a lot of that. It reused a lot of assets for various areas. There was a lot they could have done with it. They did a very good job with it, but you can make a cave. You can make the exact same cave, or you can make a really awesome cave that's different every time, which is what they did with Skyrim.
Ish.
Ish. Well, I've never been into a cave that's looked exactly the same as another one in Skyrim. And
I can't have. I mean, all the amount of times you have to go into a ruin or like crypt and you fight Draugr and they're all there's this room and they've got Draugr in them, but they're asleep. So if you hit them first, then they'll die,
Yeah.
and then you can turn around and do the next one.
Yeah, but usually the layout is a lot different, and there's maybe there's things that will diversify that dungeon from another. Like, hey, guess what? Here's a whole room of traps. Here's a whole overhead area where you can look down on the next area you'll be going into, and then you have to fight a whole bunch of guys that will be coming at you as you're going down to that area, or things that will change it up a little bit at least. They didn't have that for the new, for the old Fallout 3 game. It just felt very bland in comparison to Skyrim, and it should, because Skyrim was the new game, the advancement.
I don't know.
We're 45 minutes into this, and we haven't even gotten onto a topic yet, so we should probably,
Are we?
Yeah.
Holy
Alright.
shit, we are. Fucking hell. Okay, so, next topic is, so, Ethan got in contact with us today to, basically to let us know that he's quitting the podcast.
Officially.
Officially, yes. I don't really have anything prepared to say. I mean, we kind of did a big, thank you to everyone who's been a part of the podcast on the New Year's episode. I feel like I'd be repeating myself if I was to say anything, but, so I guess I'll keep this brief. Ethan, if you're listening, I assume you would be, considering this is, this would have been the last one you're on. Thank you for being on the podcast from the very beginning. This wouldn't have happened if you hadn't have been part of this from the very beginning. It's been a lot of fun doing this. It has.
It has.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I can't really blame him for leaving if he's not enjoying it like he did before, and if it's if he's got other things that he wants to be doing. So, yeah. Thanks, Ethan.
Good
for
luck with whatever
sticking
you decide
around.
to do.
And, yeah.
And maybe he'll decide to come back one day. I think that'd be nice. But hey,
Yeah.
Maybe guest sometime down the line. We're getting feedback
Yeah.
from someone. So, we're getting... I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know where this feedback's coming from.
Never mind. So what's the next topic? The next topic is kind
Pseudo
of sound,
crossovers.
isn't it? Pseudo crossovers
Yeah.
is the next topic. So this is when you take something from one series or media property, whatever you want to call it. We keep trying to think of names for this kind of stuff and it never really comes through. One fandom and drop it into another fandom. So this would include like all the not quite crossovers where you say, oh, this character jumps into this dimension where all this other fandom is happening. So like say, for example, Minato from Persona 3 gets dropped into Fairy Tail, for example, off the top of my head.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Yeah,
put more
I know
Persona
you are.
stuff
We've
in.
been over this, but yeah, that's just the first example. It's because you're right here. You know.
And another example would be Sword Art Online. There's 100 floors to fill, so I mean, if you just take stuff from another series and make a floor out of it, then you can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, doesn't have to be just a character. It could be just like, say, I don't know, what was it?
could be like the concept of powers from like one
Yeah.
series
Yeah.
that just
So
give to another character in another universe.
I'm actually getting a kind of a nice idea here from that Sword Art Online thing. Because if Sword Art Online is like the big game to end all games, what if like every floor was inspired, what if there were floors inspired by other video games, like little callbacks?
that
It likely
there's
would, actually.
that would actually make a more interesting fic. Actually,
Like maybe a whole Zelda floor,
Skyrim floor.
Yeah, Skyrim floor.
That'd be cool.
Matt Hazard floor.
Oh God.
Oh. Duke Nukem
I like
floor.
that
Duke
Oh,
Nukem
God.
floor. I would play
Yeah,
that.
Duke Nukem floor.
It'd be stupid as shit, but I'd play it.
It'd be floor 99.
Or 69.
Right up.
No, it'd be 69.
Oh, floor
Yeah.
69. Put in Doom.
Doom. Ooh. Someone should write this shit. Really? Come on.
That'd be scary as
We're
hell,
recording
though.
for
I mean, from
posterity.
first person? A Doom floor?
Yep. A Doom floor.
What other games could work? I'm trying to think now.
You're jumping totally off track to jump on this train.
I don't
Feels
care.
good.
This is a good idea, and someone should fucking do it.
I'd be okay
Dynasty
with
Warriors
a
would be a good one.
with a sort of a Street Fighter or Tekken floor where everybody has to fight barehanded.
Ooh, that's another good one.
Weapons are locked on that floor. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid floor where you have to be stealthy.
Oh god, that'd be
We
horrible.
can be stealthy.
But if you're overpowered and you're overleveled, you can just walk through everything.
Yeah.
Oh, a cooking
And
mama
every
floor.
monster that sees you goes dun.
There could be a cooking mama floor, a babysitting mama floor. It's a real game, by the way.
I
Seriously?
know
Yeah.
this. I saw
Don't
like
shake
there's
the
like
baby.
30 of them. There's like 30 of them that came on.
No, 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 no! Please don't shake the baby.
Shake the baby.
Oh, a warrior
Don't
wear
shake
floor.
the baby.
Oh, I love that whole routine they did on fucking Giant Bomb. That was great. Fucking just fucking shaking the fucking thing.
How about a Super Mario floor or something with platforming? Or
Oh,
a Crash Bandicoot floor.
A platforming floor would be kind of cool.
Hmm.
I mean, you'd be stretching human limits, though.
Stretching
the thing,
human
not
limits. You're saying?
Yeah.
Sort of
Well,
online.
technically, technically, considering that they are game characters and they do, and it doesn't matter if you're fat and can't jump. In the game, you can jump.
it's all based on stats, so I think I'd just sit off to
Yeah.
the side and watch people fall because I have a serious case of Schadenfreude or whatever that's called. I would really enjoy that.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude,
Oh
whatever.
man, that would be awesome.
And you would be able to sit off to the side because if it's like Mario World, then everything would be 2D. So it'd just be like a course that goes along one axis, and you can sit off to the side of it and just watch people. You could watch people play. That could work.
I feel like that'd be a side quest.
Yeah.
Watch people die.
No, you have to go through the course and you have to land on top of the flagpole.
Oh. Yeah, I can see that.
Just watch people fall and like hit their nuts on the flagpole.
Oh. Ow.
Sword Art Online, breaking barriers between games.
And balls,
And your
apparently.
balls. Yeah.
I've got the Mario theme stuck in my head now. Fuck you guys. This is your fault.
I take full credit.
What did I start the show off doing?
I don't know. Oh yeah, you were saying.
Really?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Forgot about that.
I'm musical today. So you humming things in your head doesn't bother me at all.
So yeah, if anyone wants to take that fake idea,
Go nuts.
Sword
Yeah,
Enjoy.
link us.
Yeah.
We want to read it.
Yeah. I want to see this thing happen. Now I think we can move on to
What were we even
or move
talking
on
about?
back to what we were talking
We
about.
were talking about pseudo
Right.
We were
Yes.
talking about pseudo crossovers. So that idea was a pseudo crossover, but another pseudo crossover idea would be
Someone going into another universe is not a pseudo crossover, though. That's what most people would consider an actual crossover.
I don't
Two universes
buy that,
combined is transfusion, something. I don't know.
it's a fusion type thing, really. It's like most crossovers do start with just a single character going over, and as long as they retain their personality, their powers, what makes them unique, it does count as a crossover.
though. I don't buy that. Feels
Of
cheap
course,
and simple.
if you are doing something like that, you should bring in things from the other universe. It doesn't matter. You don't technically have to bring things from the other universe off the bat, but you can introduce them as you go through the fic. Because just doing one character in a universe, although fun, can be a bit boring unless you have more things from that other universe to make it more of a crossover. Other things that would probably constitute a pseudo crossover would be just borrowing concepts from other things and then putting them in the fic that shouldn't technically be in there.
According to the rules of the main universe being referenced upon.
So, like, I think Slicer talked about somebody suddenly using a darkness power summoning thing.
That's a topic for later, so save that for
Okay,
then.
well, okay. But like when you pull something out that shouldn't be in there, like say for example, you're writing it's a fic about say, I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but Orin High School Host Club. I don't know why I'm thinking about that, but like a typical like high school type setting, and all of a sudden they're using moves from Dragon Ball Z and shooting each other, and it's not even a crossover.
If you had just altered that slightly, so that instead of it being Dragon Ball Z, you had said Oran High School Host Club, but with magic, Ethan would have pissed himself when he listened to this.
I tried to avoid that.
Yeah, but yeah.
You realize you just described Dragon Ball Evolution, didn't you? Or in Host Club, Dragon Ball Z?
That's a pseudo crossover with failure.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
God damn
if the whole magic thing, yeah, magic is an AU, I guess. But if you're using magic systems from another thing, already established magic systems instead of making your own, then that's technically a pseudo crossover.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Fate
At least
Stay
that's how I
Magic a
define
lot.
Yeah, Fate Stay Magic is pretty popular as a system because it's so well defined.
It is. It's hardcore stuff.
I don't know anything about that. I still have never seen Fate Stay Night or whatever the hell it is.
Fate Stay Night, or read the manga, or played the
I've just read
game.
fan fiction. Everything I know is from fan fiction, so
I've played the light novel and read the manga, watched the anime.
Dude.
Yeah, I could write a fanfic on it. I tried to, but then I realized first person sucks, and so I stopped.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
first person kind of does suck.
it does when you want to tell a big epic story. You know, it's
Yeah.
good for more personal things, but there's a reason why not many writers will use first person.
It has its place.
You know, if Lord of the Rings was in first person, I think we already talked about this, but it wouldn't be as well thought of. It wouldn't be as popular, I guess.
Well, until the movies came out anyway. Then nobody'd care.
Yeah, then nobody would care. But you know, there's a when you're. I guess we can sort of transition onto XPs, but XPs are an example of kind of making pseudo crossovers. Is when you take characters from other series and put them into the series, but you don't really you kind of change them a little bit, so they're technically not the same. Like you change their name, or you're like, oh, now they're a part of this magic guild or something that they weren't usually before. But they look almost exactly like canon, and they have the same powers.
Sometimes they don't even have the same powers. It's just the personality and the looks. But
Sometimes that, but like I want to bring up when I think of this. Celestial Suicide Mage, my Fairy Tail and Persona crossover. The side story we're doing, which is it's the Grand Magic Games thing. That side story is basically just Minato and Fairy Tail versus a whole team of entire teams that are made of XPs from various series.
sounds interesting.
Like there's a Hunter x Hunter team. A Yu Yu Hakusho team, all sorts of things going on there.
Tell you the truth, I was going to do the exact same thing when I got a bit further into the fairy tale fic that I was writing. Just like borrowing a whole bunch of stuff from other series and just chucking it in there, seeing what sticks.
A lot of people do that for the
There's a
tuning
Nasuverse
exams.
But yeah, it's fun to bring in XPs. It really is. As long as you don't make them, crucial to your story or something like that.
They're
it's fun to bring
cameos,
in
not main
XPs.
characters. You got to keep that in mind.
I made a Bane XP before it was cool.
You did?
Yeah. I made like a character, like this whole side arc in like the early part of Better Left Unsaid, where I had to make like powers for like or abilities for the team they were fighting. One of them had like Bane's original powers from Batman, like he used like that serum.
I'm trying to remember that and I can't.
I don't remember that either. But it looks like Kenchi got away with it. Maybe you can too. Not recommended though, because then it's a pseudo crossover, and then you should have just made it a crossover in the first place. You know?
Well, it wasn't straight up Bane stuff. It was like
it was inspired by, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I made up this whole explanation and everything for it.
Yeah, it's okay to rip powers, I think, from other series, because most powers that can be invented have been invented.
As long as they're balanced, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's even if you want your character to follow the Rising XYD example and shoot white gel, it feels disgusting on people.
I have a feeling that series is going to steal my growing hair on any surface power idea. At the rate these powers are going, I have a feeling that one's going to pop up at some point.
You just see one big, like, manly man, and he's like, I can make hair grow anywhere.
That's how it's going to be taken at first. And then it's going to do something awesome with it.
But, if you're going to do a pseudo crossover, if you're going to do an XP, well, you gotta keep the XPs typically small. Don't make the whole story about them, because then you just need to change the name so that they're actually canon or whatever, and make them canon, and then make it an official crossover.
That hair
May
thing.
as well at that point.
He would be great at making carpets.
Really disturbing carpets. As long as nobody ever figured out the secret, I guess.
You just go into his house and there's just carpets everywhere.
And
Like the
soundproofing.
entire, like-
He would be good for soundproofing too, because
Oh,
heck
And
yeah.
insulation.
Yeah.
He could fill his own pillows.
Oh.
Make his own, and line his own coats.
God, that's like
This,
the
this
ultimate
dude,
comfort
this dude
power.
sounds like he would live in a very small house, in cold, snowstormy South Pole type area. And you just like go into his house and he'd be like, you need to warm up, and he'd make hair grow on you.
I got mink sheets. When I go down the stairs, I go down on mink carpet.
Okay.
I think we kind of talked about crossovers and XP enough. I guess we can move on to the next topic. Anybody have anything else to say?
Nope, I've covered it pretty much.
What the hell just happened? Did Zero just take over hosting?
Yep.
Yeah,
God
because Casey's
damn.
apparently not doing it.
I've been supplanted. Oh. Okay. Audience. We kind of talked about this a little bit. It's kind of daunting having an audience. Because, surprising number of people read fanfiction, apparently. You don't actually think about it all that often. I mean, if I was to just look up... I've got to open up Chrome again. But, if you just vamp for a couple minutes, or whatever.
It's the reason I didn't release anything until just recently, actually, because I didn't want people begging me to release more.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that when I started. I didn't even think that people were reading this shit when I started.
Yeah, neither did I. I mean, I was like taking over for someone else who had a very established fan base. Yeah, there are 1,200 people reading my less popular story that I'm currently writing. 1,200 people have made it so that they get alerted every time I release a chapter for that story. Every time I post something for that story, 1,200 people will read it.
Or at least get the email, anyway.
Okay. 3,500 people will get an email message when I release something for my most popular story. 3,500 people. That is a lot of fucking people. When you actually think about that, that's kind of terrifying a little bit. But it's kind of an ego trip. I mean,
Yeah.
that feels good that people like your stuff enough that, like, 3,000 people will come back every time. That feels good.
How do you find that number?
It's literally on the story information. If
Oh.
you go into your own profile, it'll be listed under the story detail.
But, yeah.
In fact, I can look it up for you now if you want, Slicer.
Sure. I'm loading stuff, but it's slow, as always.
Is that for your Harry Potter story, or?
That's for
That's
both
just-
of my Harry Potter stories. Life of a Ninja
Harry
being the less
Potter.
popular one. Your most
Okay,
your
let's-
most recently popular most recently posted story, Learning the Difference, Slicer, has 100 people
Oh,
alerted.
wow.
You have one chapter
God.
released for it, and 100 people said, "Okay, I want more of this, please."
God damn, 5 million views. I did not see this till now.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Oh my god!
it's kind of fucking nuts, isn't it?
Holy shit. I didn't even look. I've never even looked at this shit until now. I never cared. Or really I cared, but not that much.
Not enough
Yep.
to check.
Holy shit. Let's
Yeah.
see how much this one is. 3 million.
Yeah.
1 million.
350,000 views of my most popular story.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Damn.
I write for
That is-
less popular categories, so I can't really brag. You know,
That is
my most
wild.
popular has 57,000 views.
Yeah.
But
My
you
least
know,
popular story overall, given time and everything, still has almost 700,000 views. That's retarded.
Yeah. So, this segment of the podcast has kind of a little bit become us wanking ourselves over the popularity of our stories. But
You did it.
if you actually look at the numbers, you end up pissing yourself in fright a little bit every time you think about writing something. But it feels amazing because people enjoy what you're doing. So it's always a nice little pick me up when you just look at that kind of stuff and see, wow, people like my stuff. That's great.
Well, I feel
I
better.
think that can kind of be a. I think that can kind of be a trap, though.
It
'cause
can.
It can go to your head.
I kind of like never like whenever I write, I still write based on what I would want to see, given what I've already done and
Yeah.
what I want to do in the future.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I mean, you're writing what you want to write, and people are liking it and saying they want more.
Mm-hmm.
So stay the course and keep doing what you want to do, and people will apparently follow you for it and want to see more of it.
That doesn't
I
necessarily mean
personally-
completely shut out, audience
Yeah.
suggestions, but don't specifically cater to people.
Because I write in a sort of a smaller category than Harry Potter or Naruto. Yeah, the two biggest categories really.
Yeah, my stories
I-
that are popular are in the most popular fandom on the site. That's
Yeah.
such a surprise.
I like to, in order to see how popular I actually am, I really look at my story relative to others.
It's a good plan.
So I look at my position in the category, and when you see that your Persona 3 fic is like the number 3 or 4 Persona 3 fic in the entire category, and it's only been out for a year, and the other stories have been out for like 3 or 4 years, it feels kind of nice.
Yeah, it does.
It's having an audience. You feel good. You're like, oh man, I'm so popular. But at the same time, there's now once you really realize that you have an audience, there's a pressure to it. You don't want to, leave them hanging. You want to update your story more, and then the important thing is you remember who exactly you're writing for. Are you writing for the people who writing, or are you writing for yourself?
I liken it to a drug addiction. Writing is
Yeah.
like being addicted. Writing for fan fiction is like being addicted to drugs. You get some feedback and good feedback, and then you just keep pumping out more stuff because you want more response.
Yeah, it's a pretty horrible comparison because of drugs, but yeah.
I apparently don't have an addictive personality then.
I
Not
I do.
updating.
I really do.
I love getting the feedback. I love reviews. I always read them whenever I can. And people, if you're listening to this, writers do read your reviews, and we do like getting feedback, unless the writer is a little punk who thinks that he's better than everybody else or something like that.
Which
And is
definitely
like,
happens.
I don't need your criticism. Yeah, it happens. Sometimes you'll get writers that are jerks and be like, screw you guys, I just want to write this story.
I do need to say something. Most often, when it comes to talking about reviews, I tend to shit all over the people that just say, hey, I like your story, please write more. Because I say, that doesn't really help me, I want to know how I can make my story better, that's what reviews are for. But the thing is, you taking the time to say, I like this has entertained me, my life has been made ever so slightly better for having found this, is a great feeling, especially when you're having a hard time because you feel like you're not contributing anything at all to the world at large. I have had some depression issues recently because I cannot find work no matter what I try. But I write and I release something and people say thank you for doing this. And I feel like I've done something worthwhile at least. I hate to make it heavy again, but
Well,
that it does mean a lot, and I don't give these people enough credit who actually take the time to say thank you or please keep writing because I enjoy this. So
Yeah.
It may not be much, but they are leaving a compliment,
yeah,
and they want more.
I have to
They're
give due
showing their
credit.
interest.
Yeah.
When I first started writing, my first review was like, "This is pretty interesting. I like this." I couldn't stop smiling for the entire day, you know, because considering that my last two stories have been complete failures, but for somebody to really, like what I write, and I have people say you're a good writer, or it's I love this story. It's very fun. It really it does mean a lot for the writer to actually see that, and it's those reviews that really help me to write personally. It's like I don't think any of my stories would have gone as far as they have without people reviewing it.
Yeah. So, that topic got a little bit heavy, a little bit real.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Quick, turn on the anti-gravity machine.
Yeah. So,
Someone say something dumb to make things.
I
like
back
I think
area
I already
supposed to
did.
be.
I almost got bit like some dude was a vampire. Let's bring back that story. Yay! There was
Yay!
creepy, fucking giant
Luchador's
ginger
turning into
vampire
chickens.
dude. What the fuck?
What if he's broken the skin?
How do you know he was a vampire?
I don't know he was a vampire. I think he might have wanted to be a vampire, maybe. I don't know.
He
That's
could
like a
have been a
subculture,
werewolf.
right? People
He could have been
Yes.
a werewolf.
thinking they're werewolves, I'm pretty sure, don't just try and randomly bite you on the neck. That seems like it might be more a vampire thing, just possibly.
Maybe he was trying to be like, you say he had a big beard and
Yeah,
he sounds like a hairy guy. Maybe he was trying to be both.
maybe. That's a possibility, I'll grant you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next topic.
So, bringing it back up, yay. What's the next topic? Messing up for want of a nail. So,
I
for
can
those,
start
not,
Nail.
for those not in the know, for want of a nail refers to a old poem, I believe, about how one tiny little change, one tiny little thing going wrong can change everything and ruin everything. So, I could probably recite it if I really, really wanted to, if I really thought about it for a
Probably.
couple seconds.
I'll explain this one if you want, since it's my topic.
Yeah, if you want.
All right. There's a fic called Chaos Theory. It's a Fate Stay story, and it is basically just the main character acknowledging and being nice to a character that would later try to kill him because she was under some misunderstandings and such. She was manipulated into it, but so that's fine. They get along pretty well. It's pretty adorable. Some nice fluff, but and then the author just adds in this all-consuming darkness thing that literally nobody can beat. It is the definition of game breaking. There was no reason to add it. It's just it ruined the story. So yeah.
So the idea is, for want of a nail, you change one thing and it changes the story entirely, just based on this one tiny thing that's seemingly insignificant, and it has massive, far-reaching consequences. But what this story apparently has done the tiny little change, and then added a whole other bunch of shit that didn't need to be changed at all.
That had nothing to do with the universe itself.
Yes.
Hey, you could
Want to
explain it
nail here,
because
have a
one of the
hammer.
other summoners summoned that weapon in because the character that was trying to kill the main character, Ilya, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I don't know, but her servant is like the most powerful one in the game. So Zoken.
Oh, this is a Fate Stay
thing.
Night thing, right?
Yeah. So Zoken summons the darkness in retaliation for her not trying to kill Shiro, the main character. So it can be explained, but it's too much.
But why wouldn't Zoken summon that in canon?
Right, that's it. Yeah, he has a reason, but it's not a good one. It's not
Yeah,
one that
like
can
if
be...
if you have a all-powerful weapon, right? And if your villain has an all-powerful weapon, why doesn't he summon it in the canon? Why would it exist only in your fanfic?
And that's what makes it not a for want of a nail fic.
well,
Because
not anymore.
it doesn't
was.
make sense anymore. Because it's not something that would have happened in canon had this thing happened as it did. So,
I like to think of it as your characters have the same abilities, they have the same everything really going on.
They have they have the
It's
same chance to achieve
yeah,
whatever it is you're trying
it's
to
just
make
this
either
one
one
thing
person
is
do.
different, and then it kind of butterfly effects from there.
Yeah.
That one thing shouldn't shift the forces in the universe and give people powers they shouldn't have had for no reason whatsoever.
Hmm.
So yeah, okay. Anybody else got anything to say on this?
I'd like to know if anybody else has any examples of that. I
screwing off
can't
for want of a
imagine that's
nail?
the only fic.
No, there are probably lots and lots of those fics. None readily spring to mind. I suppose there was one Code Geass fic that is probably one of the best examples of For Want of a Nail that I've ever
It irritates the
read.
hell out of me that you pronounce it like that. But go
Sorry,
on.
I like accurate pronunciations. I will also pronounce it Thrai Gosh rather than fucking. I pronounced it wrong anyway. Thrai Goch, because it's Goch as in Loch, as in Loch Ness. But sorry, I get a bit nerdy when it comes to this stuff. But yeah, that fic. The basic conceit was Lelouch, the protagonist, does not in fact get sent to Japan as an outcast from his royal imperial family, and instead stays with said imperial family, and, you know, makes a name for himself as one of the emperor's children and stuff, rather than being a rebel and starting a revolution and all this stuff that he did in canon.
Sounds similar to Cornelia.
Yes, in fact, he does join the military, if memory serves. But, yeah, and then some stuff happened in the very late chapters. It hasn't been updated in a long time. But in, like, one of the really late chapters, there's, like, this sort of super suit that shows up out of nowhere. There's apparently an experimental weapon that no one's ever used in canon. So I guess that'd be an example, but the fic's too good for me to complain about it too much. So, if you
I have a
can screw it up
question.
and it'll still be a good story, but...
I have a question, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that super suit?
God damn it. God damn it.
Walked into it.
I can't recover from that. I can't do it. I can't come back
You
from that.
gotta
Thank
say
you,
it.
Zero. You fucking
You gotta-
derailed
you gotta-
everything.
You gotta say it. It's the only remedy.
Where is my super suit?
Where's my super suit?
God damn it.
The world is in danger. My evening's in danger.
Oh, god damn it, Zero. Alright, anyone got anything else to say for this topic?
I said my piece.
Okay. I imagine you have, yeah, having brought it up. And given your major example. Anyone else?
I haven't read really many For Want of a Nail that have really, I don't know, jerked the or broken the universe or anything like that. I haven't read any. They've done that, so no.
Oh, I tell you what's a terrible example of a For Want of a Nail fic. Where they change one thing and then only change that one thing. So,
Oh yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
I once read a One Piece fic where Luffy does not become a pirate and instead joins the Marines like his granddad wanted him to. And then he meets Kobe, raiding Alvida's ship. And then he goes to that island where Zoro was being held by the Marines. And Zoro joins his crew. And then he goes to whatever the hell island it was that Buggy was on. And then he goes to see Usopp. And
So he just changed
you
his
kidding
uniform,
me?
That's
yep.
That makes no sense at all. What the
Yep, does everything
What?
exactly the same, except they're in Marine uniforms.
Okay,
I
first
mean,
of all,
I-
that sounds like a good idea in concept.
It does,
Yeah.
and I almost did that as well. I almost wrote one of those, but I didn't.
I could almost see Zoro joining Luffy as
Yeah,
a Marine
that
because
kind
Zoro
of
was
makes
a pirate
sense.
hunter,
Yeah.
right? Nami too, because
Yeah,
she
a little
she
bit.
hated
It's
pirates.
iffy because of the whole.
But then all the
yeah.
other characters and all the locations, it wouldn't happen in the same order.
Like you could
Unless,
still work Nami in. Nami's still pretty. You could pretty much write her.
Yeah,
She's workable.
her mom
You
was a
can work her into
marine,
that
so that
story.
makes absolute sense. That she would want to maybe follow in her mom's footsteps, and she hates
and-
pirates.
mhm.
Pretty
and
much all
they-
you got to do is break her. Is write up some situation where Luffy and company breaks Kami Island out of Arlong's rule. You got that. All you got to do is just write something workable around that. And you
Yeah.
get her.
Zoro,
Rest,
Zoro,
not so much.
Zoro was. I'm remembering now that Zoro was about to be executed by the Marines.
He was, but that was by like a completely corrupt
Yeah.
marine commander.
Yeah.
and
A
stuff.
Yeah, so you could work that in with the guy being corrupt and Luffy having to go and
Yeah.
show him
Internal
who's
affairs
boss.
and all that nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those first two you could get in. The rest, no.
I mean, Usopp, the
Usopp,
son of a
no.
pirate, and Sanji,
Usopp, the son of a pirate who's a liar.
Yeah, Sanji, the protege of a pirate cook.
Pirate cook.
Chopper, thinking about it, might actually work as well. Ish.
Maybe.
Yeah, it'd be iffy, but you could probably finagle it if you really, really, really tried.
If you were good, you could maybe get it on there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you're gonna change something, change something. Don't just write the same
Yeah.
story with different costumes.
Because I'm thinking now, and there's no way you're getting Robin on that crew at
No.
all. Fuck
I think
that.
it only got as far as the Baratier arc, and that was about where it stopped. So
Good.
it was. I could even tell you what it was called. It was called Turnabout. It was.
What was turned about?
Nothing.
Well, Luffy's on a different side, but I suppose eventually it might actually have something different in the story, but it'd be a long, long time coming if they're going to do everything
Did
exactly
they even
the same.
foreshadow it?
Foreshadow what?
What was he doing? What was the point of him going to these places? Was he just doing it? Going there?
I don't remember. It was not exactly the most memorable fic, but I remember he was trying to work his way up to captain rank, the actual rank, so that he would get his own ship and could do pretty much whatever he wanted.
So how was he getting around? What he was just some
I remember.
random-
He got lost. He got. Oh, it was. It was even the same scenario for the setup in a fucking barrel.
Okay,
Great.
fuck that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
You just made me sad inside.
Oh well. Yeah, that's another way you can screw up for want of a nail. Just saying. So I guess that's everything for that topic.
Sounds like it.
Filling in the blanks. This is
I'm
our
not sure
last
what this
writing
is.
topic. This has been a writing-heavy topic list.
Yeah.
Finish your sentences.
You saved it there. You did.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of writing topics this week. It's a good thing, actually, I guess, because we had absolutely nothing else to talk about. So filling in the blanks is when the series that you're writing for, or fandom that you're writing for, or media property that you're writing for, has not finished yet, and thus all of the details haven't quite been filled in. There are plot twists yet to
Or-
happen.
yeah.
There are powers yet to be established. So you have
Or
to...
said character that was introduced is said to have had, say, 18 powers, and only 3 of them were ever shown in canon, and that character was killed off, or whatever.
Or say a character turns out to not have been that character, or then turns out not to have been that character that he was supposed to have not been that character to not be that character of.
This happened a lot when all we knew of Akatsuki was just their names and what they looked like.
Yep.
Yep, I remember
Yep.
that.
And then Madara and Madara and Obito and Madara.
Fuck him! God, I hate this. Oh.
I always knew that motherfucker under the mask was Obito.
Yeah. As soon as they said Toby, it was kind of a little bit, maybe you could guess it pretty easily. I don't know.
Toby.
We're not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
That's a different.
Yeah,
that's
let's
an entirely
not.
different.
Yeah, it
conversation.
is. So yeah, this is filling in the blanks of you don't really have all the answers yet. It's the question of do you fill it in yourself and then just claim AU as soon as everything gets explained in canon? Or do you, say, just sort of push it to one side and maybe deal with it, wait for it to get resolved in canon and then get to it? Is the question.
You can also stick with just really generic skills until, it's revealed. That doesn't always work, but it's a solution.
Yeah.
If it's something meant to be big, you kind of gotta wait, or at least make up some. You gotta either wait or make up something plausible. That's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff I write for has been finished, so I can't really talk about this very much. So, anyone else got anything to say for it?
I mean, you kind of brought up when we were spitballing topics around when this came up in the first place. You kind of brought up a good point. One of the big reasons that I'd slowed down for a while on Shinobi of the High Seas updates, the One Piece the Naruto fic, is because I didn't know enough about who the bigger players later on in the series. I didn't know enough about their powers or what they could do.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, it was like, I remember you writing about it in the author's notes for the story. It was like they had just right then gotten past the time skip, so you didn't know who the 4 emperors were, except for one. You didn't know what the superpowers of some of the admirals were. You didn't know a hell of a lot about the supernovas. There was so much you didn't know about the characters that were going to be big players for the rest of the story.
You still kind of don't know much about the supernovas. I mean, you know a lot about Law now.
You know a lot about the ones that have died, I guess. They're dead. That's kind of a lot to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of makes writing for them in story difficult,
Yeah.
but
Well. Oh yeah, you just did a chapter on Beige, didn't you?
yeah, kind of basically killed him, kind of.
Yeah.
Or dealt with him. I dealt with him.
God damn. So many characters introduced and then never used again. Oh well. But yeah. You've got to make a choice at some point. I mean, like I said, you can push it to the side for a while, but if it's big stuff, then eventually you're going to either have to just say, I can't write this story anymore until canon explains stuff, or I'm going to have to explain it myself and then say AU when canon resolves it. Otherwise, my story's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about in the chat?
I don't know.
Slicer making out with his mic is basically what started this.
Slicer
What
said,
the
I'm sorry
fuck?
for yelling. It was a bit too loud with my mic basically touching my lips. And I said, Slicer, stop making out with your mic. There are other people present. And he said, never. And I said, your love will never lead to anything. And he said, I can pretend.
God.
That was a great reading there.
Yeah.
How does this always happen? Every episode, something happens in the
Because-
chat. The
because
chat
there's a
isn't
chat.
recorded. We don't keep track of this. God damn
It's because there's a chat.
Yeah.
The mere fact that there is a chat means that things will happen in the chat.
God damn it.
Because we are, like, 6-year-olds.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyone got anything else to say for this topic?
It can lead
Yeah,
to
it's just
really
me and
bad
Casey talking.
stories. Or also, looping back to a previous topic, game-breaking things. Canon Naruto was actually game-breaking there for a while. I mean, Pain leveling a whole village, that was a little much.
So you're saying that everything that happened since then, like, I don't know, I come back to this one a lot, pulling down 2 back-to-back meteors.
Every
or-
time you go back to this, it was kind of
Because
awesome.
it pissed me off.
It was awesome, though.
At least after Pain nuked the village, he was exhausted. And couldn't really use his powers on that scale again.
Yeah.
He kind of screwed himself after doing that.
Well, ish. I mean, saved a lot of time. Saved a lot of effort of having to fight literally an army of ninja.
It
That would've
did,
been annoying.
yeah.
You see,
It was a well-done
he had
risk.
a point to it.
Hmm.
As opposed to pulling down 2 meteors. and just no selling what you just did. Like, yeah, I do that all the time. I'm Madara.
How many meteors have got to be going around that planet?
It may as
That
well
he could
just be
just pull
Saturn.
one randomly there. Just
Well, they never really defined it as Earth. So
no,
who
they
knows?
didn't. I guess. There's,
It can be
they're
assumed.
never going to
I
do
mean, at that
space
point,
travel.
that point, they would need to have like a ring around the planet, and you'd be able to see that in the sky. You don't just have meteors up in the air. That doesn't work.
That is not science.
Science doesn't work like that.
Forget your science. We have chakra. Forget physics. We have chakra.
It's,
Why
the
do they
worst
pronounce
part
it
is it's
chakra?
True.
Isn't it supposed to be pronounced chakra with an S?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not exactly much up on my metaphysical bullshit, but
It's spelled with CH, so it's going to be pronounced like that, damn it.
yeah, I was under the impression that it's supposed to be chakra, but never mind. It always bugged me when I was playing the games, because that's the only way I've experienced canon at all, is playing the games.
One of Kenchi's moves in the game I'm making is chakra.
Really?
Is it
Yeah.
unlock chakra, or is it just chakra? Like,
It was part of the default setting for the class that he's in.
Part of the what?
That I'm
It was
currently
part of the D,
revamping.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yes, it's part of the deal. It was one of the default skills that was present in the game, and it was for the monk class, which I like edited to make for Kenchi, and that's like upon level up to a certain level, he will get the move chakra. Probably gonna make him have a shadow clone jutsu at one point, but that's gonna be way too hard.
You could have an arc where he's just on his own, and then he can fill out the party with shadow clones.
The Kenchi arc.
Yeah.
they'd have like one health,
You know-
so they'd be,
That's a pretty good idea. We should make I should make like entire arcs where it's just a single character.
I should be a game designer. No, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. Actually, I should, because I did make all those goddamn mechanics for that stupid Game of the Year fic that I have barely gotten anywhere on.
They're
God
really
damn.
broken, though. Really
Yeah,
broken.
coming up with ideas for game
Well,
mechanics and actually scripting them are really two different things.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
granted.
I'm gonna have to learn scripting. Oh my goodness.
Designing and making are two different things, but yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're done with this topic.
I believe so.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So recommendations. I'm gonna be a prick. I'm gonna recommend Turnabout, that One Piece fic that I talked about. If I can,
You
I'm hoping
prick.
it's still there. I'm gonna check right now to see whether it's still there, and I'm gonna recommend it as an example of what not to do in For Want of a Nail Fix. I am literally looking it up right now. So, Vamp or something.
So it's an educational recommend.
Yes. It is.
You're
I'm
hiding
still-
behind that. It's a bad wreck, and you know it.
I haven't even
course
looked
it
to
is.
find out whether I've got any better ones, but this seems like a good idea to just, drop this in here and say, you should look at this and make sure you don't do this ever.
I like it. It's purpose serving.
Okay, I need to narrow this down so I can actually find the One Piece section. God damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, do you think it's gonna be that easy?
Turnabout. That's turnabout. That's not how you say that.
All right then. Let's see.
I have one too, but it'll take a while to explain. So
There you go. One
might as well.
Piece.
Go ahead. Well, go
Turnabout.
ahead. He's
No,
looking for.
it's not here
Turnabout.
anymore. It's been taken down.
Oh,
That's
good.
unfortunate. But, okay, that looks like I need to find another recommendation. God damn it. Alright, so who wants to go first for recommendations while I'm looking? God damn it.
I think I might have already recommended it before, but the story that got me into Fate's Stay was From Fake Dreams. It's
I don't think you recommended it before.
Oh, all right, cool. Well, the main character's dad, Kiritsugu. I'm really bad at pronouncing these things because I've just read them before. So, anyway, he he dies really early in canon, like before the series, I believe. Zero, is that true?
Uh, Hold on, what was it? I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Kiritsugu,
Was the
Shiro's dad. He dies before the series starts, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He dies when Shiro's a kid. Yeah.
hmm
Uh,
So in this, he lives a little bit longer, and not only that, but he gets dreams of the future, of what can happen in the future. He gets dreams of all four paths, or five, or whatever you can take, because depending on which girl you choose in the light novel or game or
yeah.
whatever, it's called a different route, and he gets dreams of
hmm
all the routes. So he knows what can happen to a pretty good degree. So he does his best to prepare Shiro for it.
Have you seen all the different routes? Oh my goodness,
I
they
should.
differ so much. It
They
just
really do.
it's really is that whole butterfly effect type want for our nail. It it that's the game does it very well. Because say for example, instead of if you in the first fight, if you jump in front of Saber to prevent her from getting completely destroyed by the big monster by the big berserker monster dude who's servant. Right, if you jump in front to save her, even though she's more powerful than you, you get down on one route because that's her route where she likes you and everything. And, there's still some other choices to determine that, but that's what you do. If you choose instead to trust her to do it on her own, you get pulled into a completely different route where it's more focused on another character that shows up later after that, who wouldn't have shown up who you wouldn't have even seen show up if it weren't for the fact that you got pretty much knocked unconscious by jumping in front of her.
I really need to play that, just so I know.
It's good.
Definitely, I know what's going on, because learning everything from fan fiction is good. I did that for Harry Potter actually, but
Did it for Naruto?
there's some holes in your knowledge that aren't always filled properly.
hmm
I expected somebody
You
to
can
make
always-
a joke about that, but okay.
You can always cheat. You can always cheat. I know it's not a joking matter. Knowledge is power. You can always cheat and look at the wiki, like 90% of America
Yeah.
does for all their answers.
I can't do that. I can't. It's too dry. It doesn't matter how interesting it is. Wikis are always just too dry for me. I have no idea why.
I don't know. I don't look at them because it's too easy to get sucked into something that has nothing to do with what I was originally going there to look for.
You should never go to TV tropes. Don't even. No, don't.
I have, and that has happened.
Mm.
And it took like 2 hours to break my trance of diving deeper into shit that had nothing to do
Only
with what I
two?
originally went there for. Yeah.
I spent 7.5 hours stuck on that site.
I've got shit to do during the day. I can't sit around. I have,
Oh, tell you what I found from TV tropes. Anyone ever played Nier? Nier?
No.
No. Heard of it though.
So, Laura Bailey plays a character in that game.
Of course. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That character is a foul-mouthed hermaphrodite.
whoa.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
I need to find a copy of this game because that might be the most interesting voice acting role I will ever have heard of.
Oh, that's
I'm
great.
hermaphrodite. Okay.
Yeah,
I have Steam open. I'll look for it.
I'm actually gonna put in the link dump the opening cutscene for this game because it literally starts with a speech from her / him. Call it her. She very feminine hermaphrodite.
Okay.
It is
I
not on
am-
Steam, sadly enough.
I'm on some
Weird.
thin ice here, politically speaking. But, yeah, it's a whole ranting, screaming speech from her at the very beginning of that game, and it's quite something. It's
All right.
does things
I
to me.
think can I do my recommendation now and
Yeah, I just needed to mention that.
yeah, I don't have any fanfics to recommend, but I really want to recommend a manga called Last Boss X Hero. And it's basically a mangaka is he's writing a story. It's really failing. He knows it's about to get axed because it sucks and he's an idiot. So then he's like, you know what? I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to kill the main heroine to leave a big, a big twist at the end and finish up my story before it gets axed. Right? So he starts drawing the Demon Lord because it's a story about exorcists or whatever and all the ideas are cliched and ripped off from other things. And he's like writing about the exorcist and he starts drawing the Demon Lord, but then he sort of ends up getting sucked into his manga. And so he's in this crappy manga. Well, the art style's good. I mean, it's just like the whole plot and characters have been kind of. He notices how actually the characters are actually starting to get more developed. The longer he's in there, he starts to notice that. But he's in there, and then basically his goal is to kill the main heroine of his story. Because he thinks that's the only way he can get out, because that's how he planned to end it.
I suppose there's some logic behind that, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he's trying to kill the main heroine of the entire story. And then he finds out that, coincidentally, the reason he got pulled in there, for some reason, he is actually the Demon Lord. He's been given that role. And then he also can, like, draw scenarios and stuff in a notebook that he has with him. So he makes lots of. It's a very fun story. You get to see him and he's acting all nice to the main two characters of his story, and then you see him secretly. He's like, "I'm going to kill them all." He's like, it really is a very unique story. I really like it. I read it. I love reading the chapters over again. It's the first manga where I've actually really wanted to read the chapters over again multiple times for the entire thing. It's only like 8 or 9 chapters right now, but it's very good.
Alright, yeah. I'd like to see that.
Mangaka in his own thing, trying to kill his main heroine, who starts to fall in love with him, of course.
Of course.
And of course he decides he's going to manipulate that so that he can make the best end, so he can make the most interesting ending for his readers.
Is this finished yet?
No, it's 8 chapters, but I would recommend at least following it, because every chapter is just better than the last. And his main character starts to get pushed to the side, and then he starts to get his main character is suspicious of him. So, and then there's this whole like thing where it's hinting at there might be another mangaka writing the story, and he's in it. So
It sounds very, very meta.
It does, yeah.
it is, but it's so fun. It's very fun. I recommend it. At least look at the first chapter, or actually, I think the second chapter. Look at the first 2 chapters. If you don't like it, then it's not your thing. But it's really fun, and he really kind of basically he's like, "I'm God, the main character, and I'm the Demon Lord. Oh my goodness."
The power go to his head, or?
Yeah, it kind of does. The inner moments where he's just like evil in his head are great. And then he's like, he's writing scenarios because he has to write how it ends. And like he calls in like the 4 like demon generals to like get their advice on how the scenario is as his editors.
Okay.
Must be the most bizarre workday ever.
And whenever it shows like the Demon Lord's like base or wherever they're at, it's just an office.
That's not that rare, actually, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's just a standard office, and they're like, and they're like communicating him through his like mind, and like the one main demon general he likes to talk to, Nobunaga, has like a little ear thing, and he's like talking to him, and then like the mangaka's like, okay, that's enough, shut up, I'm hanging up now, and then like he hangs up, and you see the like Nobunaga, and he looks all sad, and then the other demon general's like, it's okay. It's okay.
Of course, there's a demon general named Nobunaga. How could there not
Yeah.
be?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
It's very fun. I recommend it.
Okay. Ken, have you got one? Or shall I go?
Yeah, you should go.
Okay. My recommendation, I am going quite far back in my archives of favorites and stuff, but my recommendation is a Bleach fic called Not Quite as Planned. Written by, who the fuck's it written by?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I love that one. I
Yeah.
second this one instantly.
Not Quite as Planned by Sero-kun. That's Cerokun.
You know what I'm
So
gonna
it's
ask,
Sarah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You should link it.
Yeah. Basically, you know the scene, like, right after Rukia gets captured and taken back to Soul Society? And
Yeah.
Urahara plans to turn Ichigo into a proper Shinigami with the whole pit thing and the chain of fate getting eaten and stuff.
You're
Yeah, that goes
Yep.
wrong. And
It's about as wrong as it can go. Yeah.
yeah, and Ichigo ends up turning into an Aronka from that.
Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
alright.
So, things happen from there. It has technically been completed at about 70,000 words, give or take. And there is a sequel that hasn't been updated in quite some time.
Yeah, it's looking like it's dead.
Mm,
At first, the guy gave the excuse that he wanted to let the manga get a little further so he'd know what was going on to plan the powers and stuff. But
and then
I think he might have just lost interest in the series because of what happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of did.
Don't
So
Yeah.
don't really blame him.
that is literally the reason I have for not updating my Bleach fic ever. So, I can't blame him in the slightest.
Yeah, I'm even hesitant to update my my Fairy Tail Persona story because I'm starting to really lose interest in Fairy Tail.
God, Fairy Tail sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't amazing at any point. It was very fan servicey, which was nice. It had some decent fights, I guess, which was nice. It had some bullshit power-ups that were immediately forgotten by the protagonist for no apparent reason, which was not so nice. And then stuff happened. And then more stuff happened. And then nothing happened for quite some time. And then characters were suddenly and inexplicably allies, even though they had tried to murder each other not long ago. And then there are some very creepy relationship dynamics that suddenly and inexplicably develop. Yeah, I've talked about that before. Yeah, I don't read Fairy Tail anymore.
Ooh. So it's actually bad then.
I stopped reading when the what's her name, the redhead from Raventail, suddenly showed up and was immediately an ally of Fairy Tail somehow, even though she had threatened to murder a 5-year-old in the previous arc.
Huh.
God fucking damn it, I hate that manga now.
I was just mindlessly. I was literally mindlessly following it, and then I just kind of dropped off after they were like, "Hey, guess what? Lucy time traveled to meet herself."
So this is perfect. My friend would always brag about it. I would read the latest Naruto, and he'd read Fairy Tail, and I'd always be like, "Oh, this fucking sucks." But then he'd be like, "Yeah, this is great," and they'd brag about it, and I'd want to punch him in the face.
It's not
So I can
good.
now rub his face in this.
It was never great. It was only good at best, and only then when I was watching the anime. And then I had
Wait,
to keep
fuck,
going with
no,
the
it was
manga.
One Piece. Damn it.
I had
Was
to
One
keep
Piece
going
bad?
with the manga. One Piece.
One Piece is not.
Fuck.
One Piece is awesome.
I don't
Ah.
think. I'm not entirely sure One Piece will ever be bad per se, because there is
Over
so
600
much.
chapters and it's still good.
There is so much time and effort spent in planning that story that I can't imagine it ever actually turning to shit.
Like, there's stuff you can complain about, but
Luffy's still
It's not
retarded and stuff like that, so, there's always going to be stuff to complain about as long as that character is that character. 'Cause I'll be honest, I never liked that protagonist. But, there's always interesting
He's
things
fun.
happening in that story, so.
Hmm. Well, my mood just fell to the floor. Oh well.
Sorry.
Alright.
Picked you up with the fairy tale stuff and then brought you right back down with One Piece.
Right.
why did you
to
get
the
one?
ground.
Did you want One Piece to suck?
Yes.
Wait a second, you were happy when I said something was shit and then miserable when I said something was good.
Why did you want One Piece to suck?
Because I don't like it. Well, I'm not interested. I got
So you
ruined
just
by the
wanted
4
a
Kids dub.
consensus agreement.
So, yeah.
So you just
Uh,
wanted
4
us-
Kids
just
dub
read
ruined
the
every-
manga.
Yeah.
Read the manga. Don't watch
Read the
fucking
ma-
4
yeah.
Kids dubs.
They
watch
turned
the
3
subs.
panels into 3 episodes in the anime.
Wow.
Yeah, just read. It's faster
No, it's
Mhm.
not.
and more graphic. Well, it's not faster. Which yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's totally faster. If you read like me
faster?
or probably Kenchi, where you're just like, oh, got it. Next page. Oh, got it. Next
Yeah, but
page.
at that point, you're just pretty much just reading the dialogue and not even looking at the pictures.
Yes, I am.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I'm
am.
kind
Fucking
of. I'm.
I ingest all of that.
I'm
You
also limited by
underestimate our
slow internet.
abilities.
So, like a single manga page takes like 30 seconds to load.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
How the fuck is it that the guy with the shittiest eyesight is the one that enjoys the artwork the most? How does that work?
You appreciate what you're losing? I guess, I don't know.
you appreciate what you're looking at because it's so hard for you to see it. I guess.
God damn.
Maybe you don't really see it.
I'll stare
maybe
at
you just-
the sun. Fuck my eyesight. It's not enough to look at the sun.
You can
gotta
be the
know
blind
it's
fighter
there.
then. It'll be great.
Oh yeah, you can
There's
be
a
like.
one-armed fighter.
Wait. The Mortal
What?
Kombat guy, was his name Kenchi? Or was it?
Yes. Kenchi
Oh, Kenchi. Okay. So close. God damn it.
with the telekinesis.
Oh, that would have been a perfect fucking joke, but no, it's not quite there. Damn it. Alright. I think we're done.
I believe
Yeah,
so.
I don't have anything.
Oh, wait.
Excellent.
You don't have any
We ended
recommendations?
like half an hour ago,
Nah.
so
Okay.
If you're still listening to this,
thanks.
you're my number 1 customer.
What?
You're my number 1 customer. It's a reference.
Zelda, I
reference.
think, is Wind Waker, the Mark Hamill.
Nope, it's a reference to actually Arnold Schwarzenegger Disney movie, or not?
Oh.
No, Christmas movie. Sorry, it was not Disney. It was Christmas. Arnold Schwarzenegger Christmas movie. Jingle All the Way. Very fun. He beats up
Great.
people.
Put that cookie down. All that stuff, yeah.
Put that cookie down.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, ending.
Yeah.
So, thanks for listening to episode 18 of the Fandom Flux podcast. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do so through the Blogspot page in the comments or through our own personal profiles on fanfiction.net. Once again, thank you for listening to the Fandom Flux podcast episode 18, and we're out.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.